3 years, 3 months, and 16 days since a quadruple homicide in Laurel, Nebraska. One of the two people convicted in connection with that crime was sentenced, and now the other has a final sentencing date. KTV's Katie Koppel joins us live tonight from Laurel, Nebraska. Beginning our Team 4 coverage, she was inside the courtroom for the sentencing hearings today for Jason and Carrie Jones. So, Katie, walk us through the court proceedings tonight. What happened?
Yes, Jessica, Jason and Carrie Jones, the husband and wife, convicted for their roles in that quadruple homicide here in Laurel, Nebraska in August of 2022, back in a Cedar County courtroom this morning. One of them learning their fate and another fighting to stay in prison. Jason Jones, convicted in September of 2024 of 4 counts of first-degree murder, facing 2 possible futures: life in prison or the death penalty. A 3-judge panel heard from Jones' defense attorneys and the prosecution Thursday. Todd Lancaster, who has represented Jones, spoke on the relationship Jones has with his mother, his mental health at the time he committed the murders, and his absence of a criminal record prior to that August morning. He says Jones shouldn't be sentenced to death. Instead, he should get life in prison. The prosecution argued that the crime of murdering 4 people deserves a death sentence. The 3 judges will now determine Jason Jones' fate at a hearing in April of next year. Now, it's important to note that, like his trial, Jason Jones was not present in the courtroom Thursday and was represented solely by his attorneys. Before Jason's hearing, his wife Carrie was in court for her sentencing. Back in August of this year, Carrie Jones was convicted of first-degree murder and 2 lesser charges for the role she played in the murder of 86-year-old Jean Twyford. With her convictions, she was sentenced to a mandatory life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. Before the judges handed down her sentence, 2 of Twyford's daughters spoke about their parents and sister and everything they have lost.
My family believes in God, love, and forgiveness. Values my mom and dad taught us every single day. Those beliefs are what keep me standing today. But I'll be honest, I do not believe I'll ever be able to forgive the defendant for what she did to my family. However, I know that my mom, dad, and sister, with the kind of loving hearts they were and had, have already forgiven her. That's who they were.
When asked by the judge, Carrie Jones did not make a statement to the families. Now, what you can't see behind me is the home of Jason and Carrie Jones, still vacant here in Laurel, Nebraska. Now, Jason Jones won't learn his fate until April, when that 3-judge panel decides whether he will spend the rest of his life in prison or be sentenced to death. Jessica?
All right, KTV's Katie Koppel live for us tonight in Laurel, Nebraska. Katie, thanks for walking us through today's court hearing. Now, the Twyford family did release a statement shortly after the sentencing this morning. It said, quote, "We are relieved by today's decision and deeply appreciate the hard work of the legal team and law enforcement throughout this long and painful process. We're also grateful to the court and to the judge for the care and attention given to this case." Now, the victim's family has felt and experienced tremendous tragedy, and so has the Laurel community. The effects are still being felt. Our Team 4 coverage continues tonight from Laurel with KTV's Kaylee Dobbs. Kaylee, you were able to speak with residents in the community today following the sentencing. So how are people reacting today?
Yeah, Jessica, I've spent the afternoon and the evening here in Laurel, Nebraska, this very tight-knit community. I just spoke to a gentleman. He came up to me and said that prior to this tragedy, when people of this community heard sirens, they didn't think twice, but now they're terrified. One thing is absolutely for certain: this community will never be the same.
Just a big ball of fire, explosion on the inside. I'm calling 911.
In August of 2022, this rural Nebraska town was forever changed, something they'd never expect.
Not in a small town like this or any small town around in Nebraska.
With a population of less than 1,000 people, where everyone knows everyone.
So I would see Carrie out mowing her lawn, and then Jason, he was always gone trucking. So
now in this neighborhood lies 2 vacant pieces of land where family used to gather and a sense of safety used to be. The Twyford and Ebeling households have been demolished and remind the community daily of the tragic incidents that unfolded that early August morning. With today's sentencing of life in prison without the possibility of parole for Carrie Jones, the community is feeling a sense of relief.
This place has climbed back. I see kids walking down the road and people having a good time around here, so I wouldn't say it's back to normal, but people are at ease.
Neighbors hope the now vacant Jones house will also be knocked down.
I would love to see it be knocked down and be built new for a new family to move in.
And the community can begin to heal. Jess, one thing is absolutely for certain. This community has a long road ahead of them when it comes to recovery, but they are taking it one day at a time, and in the best way possible. They are some of the best people here that I've met today. Jess?
All right, KTIV's Kaylee Doms wrapping up our Team of 4 coverage tonight from Laurel, Nebraska for us. Kaylee, thank you. And the conversation continues online right now at KTIV.com.